Hey there, it's Mitzi. Welcome to my channel. Today it's time for another spin of the wheel, and so I am choosing two books for my August TBR off of my shelves using a little spinner. And so this is always fun to do for me. I really enjoy doing it. Last month though, I want to talk about those books first because I had two books chosen from the wheel for the month of July. The first was off the gifted shelf because I always choose one from the gifted shelf and then I choose from one of the other categories. And that was The Lady and the Highwayman by Sarah Eden. I loved this. It was a really good book. I've already reviewed it, so I'll try to remember to link to that. This was a Victorian historical fiction, so it set in the Victorian period. I love it already. And it had this sort of a dual, it wasn't a dual timeline, but it was two stories that were twisted together, and I really loved the way that this book was told. This story was told, the two stories, and one of the stories was a penny dreadful from like the Victorian period, so I really loved that too because I do like sensation novels from the Victorian period, so I really enjoyed this and I highly recommend it. The other book was from my nonfiction bookshelf, and it was Founding Brothers by Joseph Ellis. This book is not very long, but I haven't read it yet. And here's the thing with this book. I was going to try to squeeze it in this week, but Elizabeth over at Lizzie Faye Loves Books, she's doing an August challenge of reading the oldest books on your shelf. And this is the oldest book that was on my Goodreads TBR shelf. So somehow this happened to be the book that was not only the spinner chose for July, but was also the oldest book on my TBR on Goodreads. So I thought this book was meant to be. So I decided I wouldn't try to squeeze this in because I do have several other books I want to read before the end of July. Now I won't get to all of them, but some of them are related to Jane Austen July, so I'd rather get to those during the month of July. So I thought I would put this aside, and so when Elizabeth mentioned the challenge, I said, okay, that gives me permission to just move this over to the month of August. So this will be a priority for August, but I'm also going to spend today for two more books for the month of August for my TBR. So let me get my laptop and let's get started on what books I'll be reading for the month of August. All right, so let's spin the wheel. And we have Martha's Vineyard, Isle of Dreams. This is so good because I just read the one before it. What is that? Fairy Tale Girl. And someone told me to read the Fairy Tale Girl. Well, a couple of you have told me, make sure you read Fairy Tale Girl first because they do go in order. So I'm very excited to get to Martha's Vineyard. These are the memoirs of Susan Branch, and I was ready to start the next one, but I had so many other books, so this gives me an excuse to pull that one off and read it. Okay, so now let's spin the wheel for the next one. Hang on just a second and let me find that one. Okay, so we're going to spin for which shelf we're going to be picking from, and we are choosing from shelf number 1 again. Okay, so we're going to choose a book from shelf number 1 again. Okay, so let's spin the wheel. And from shelf number 1, which is my gifted books, we have Love Ruby Lavender. So we have Love Ruby Lavender and Martha's Vineyard from shelf number 1. Okay, so I went and grabbed the two books. So I have Martha's Vineyard, Isle of Dreams by Susan Branch. I'm very excited to continue this story because, like I said earlier, I have read Fairy Tale Girl, which is the first one, and these are just comfort reads. I mean, these are books that you just are excited about. The Fairy Tale Girl, I couldn't wait till each night going through that and just enjoying my time with Susan Branch because she doodles on the pages and she has her drawings and things on the page, and it's like a scrapbook because she shares like real photos from her past. It's just very good. So I hope that this one, I'm sure it will be just as good as the first one. I have always heard great things about these books, so I'm excited for that. And then the other book is Love, Ruby, Lavender. And this is a middle grade book that I've been wanting to read for a very long time. And it is by Deborah Wiles. And as I look at this cover, there are chickens on the front and books. So you can't go wrong with chickens and books in a middle grade book. So I'm excited for that one too. So these are the two books that I will be reading for August, as well as the other book that where's that one? Oh, here it is. Founding Brothers, that I didn't get to. I'm going to use this though for that August challenge that Elizabeth is hosting. I think it's called Oldest in August or something like that. So I will be reading this one for August as well. So that makes 3 books that are technically from my TBR spin. So let me know if you've read Founding Brothers, Love, Ruby, Lavender, or Martha's Vineyard. Leave a comment so we can chat there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.